What's up, guys? Ben Samlek here. We're talking about DJT stock, Donald J. Trump stock. You know, this is something that just popped on my radar. I wanted to share with you guys. You know, it's under $20, and they just bought $3 billion in Bitcoin. That's billion with a B. And this is huge, I think, for this stock, because it was just a media company before, and I don't know if it was even a great one of that, but now it's become almost like a small Bitcoin ETF, right? So this is huge for this stock, and I think it's going to affect it greatly in the long run here. So this is something you might want to look at. So not only is it you know, owning one of the hottest assets, Bitcoin, that potentially could go to 1 million. If it goes to 1 million Bitcoin, which a lot of people are saying as it halves, this stock could 10x as well to 100, you know, to 200K, 10x, right? Even if it halves to 100K, you know, that's huge. So this is one to buy and hold, I believe. You buy and hold it, and then as it goes up, you know, say you get to $50, you can start to sell calls off of it as income. That would be a great play for this stock. Even if you buy 100 shares, that's about $2,000, and then say it goes to 50, those options, those calls, I believe could be potentially around $6, $7 every other week, maybe even a month. But let's just say every other week you're making $700, right? You're selling one call off that 100 shares. Every month you could be making about $1,400 just off 100 shares. So just imagine if you bought 200 or 300. When that thing goes to $100, you know, when it goes to $200, when Bitcoin goes to 1 million, you could be making $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, right? Just off selling calls and keeping your stock. So this is something I think would be a great play, something you guys should look into. DJT, this is for educational purposes, and I believe with Trump, you know, with that ego, right, he wants his company to succeed. He wants to make his stock go up. He wants to, like, really, you know, for himself, but also to show people how awesome he is. Just like I made a video way back with Facebook, when Facebook was $20, $30 a share, and I felt the same way. Zuckerberg, I thought, this guy's not going to let his stock, you know, these guys, they want to just prove how awesome they are. Like, Trump didn't need to be president. He really didn't. Some people might think he did for whatever purposes, but he did it for ego. And same with his stock. I think for ego, he will do everything he can to pump that thing up. And buying Bitcoin, this is huge. Just like I said, just by the price of Bitcoin going up in the long run should bring this stock up. But you can sell calls for income as it goes. I'll make a video as I start to do that to show you guys how to sell calls for income if you don't know how, and I'll make another video. And I have 2 other videos I'm gonna make hereafter. But I just wanted to share for something, you know, this just came up on my radar. I think this is something you might want to look into, because now it's not just a media company. It's almost like a Bitcoin ETF, like I said, a small one. And 3 billion, plus they have 500 million that they're going to be using to buy options. So if Bitcoin goes down in the short run, they could buy puts on the futures to you know, keep that stock going up, right? To keep the income coming in, so they're not putting all their eggs and just sitting there, like, letting it sit there. They're buying 500 million worth. They're going to be using 500 million to buy, you know, probably Bitcoin calls and puts on the futures market, which will help them in volatile times to continue to make more money. Who knows? They could even stake it and rent it out and make money that way. I mean, there's a lot of things they could do now with DJT stock. So check it out. Like I said, this is for educational purposes only, but I just wanted to throw that out there. And if people haven't noticed that or thought about that, this is something that I think could be a play people might want to think about. So thanks for tuning in. Ben Samlek. Be sure to subscribe, like, whatever. Thanks for supporting the channel. I have a couple other videos I'm going to be putting out hopefully today on a couple other plays that I think could be really good. All right, thanks for tuning in. Talk to you guys later. Bye.